Indemnify.
To compensate for harm, loss, or damage, or to provide security against future harm.
Used in legal or compensation contexts.
The insurance company indemnified the victims of the flood.
The agreement indemnifies against legal action.
Compensate, reimburse, repay, redress.
Inculcate.
To instill an idea, attitude, or habit through persistent instruction or repetition.
Used in teaching or learning contexts.
The teacher inculcated a love for reading in her students.
Parents often inculcate values in their children.
Instill, implant, impress, teach.
Ingratiate.
To seek favor or approval by deliberate effort, often through flattery or sycophantic behavior.
Used in persuasion or social contexts.
He tried to ingratiate himself with his boss.
She ingratiated herself with the influential group.
Flatter, woo, please, endear.
Imbibe.
To drink, especially alcohol, or to absorb ideas, knowledge, or information.
Used in drinking or absorption contexts.
He imbibed a glass of wine during dinner. She imbibed the teachings of her mentor.
Drink, quaff, consume, absorb.
Impair.
To weaken, damage, or reduce the effectiveness or quality of something.
Used in health or functionality contexts.
His vision was impaired after the accident.
Excessive noise can impair concentration.
Lessen, damage, diminish, weaken.
Instigate.
To provoke or incite an action, often something negative or disruptive.
Used in provocation or initiation contexts.
His remarks instigated a heated debate. The leader instigated the protest.
Incite, provoke, agitate, spur.
Imprint.
To leave a lasting mark, impression, or influence on something or someone.
Used in marking or influence contexts.
The teacher's words imprinted on his mind.
The logo was imprinted on the product.
Stamp, etch, embed, engrave.
Inflect.
To change the form or tone of something, particularly in speech or language.
Used in linguistic or tonal contexts.
He inflected his voice to convey sarcasm.
The verb is inflected for past tense.
Alter, modify, bend, change.
Inhibit.
To restrain, prevent, or suppress an action, process, or behavior.
Used in suppression contexts.
Fear of failure can inhibit creativity. The chemical inhibits bacterial growth.
Restrain, suppress, prohibit, constrain.
Intercede.
To intervene on behalf of another, often to mediate or resolve a conflict.
Used in mediation contexts.
She interceded with the principal on behalf of her friend.
He interceded to stop the argument.
Mediate, arbitrate, conciliate, intervene. To instill an idea, attitude, or habit through persistent instruction or repetition.
Inculcate.
To restrain, prevent, or suppress an action, process, or behavior.
Inhibit.
To provoke or incite an action, often something negative or disruptive. Instigate.
To drink, especially alcohol, or to absorb ideas, knowledge, or information. Imbibe. To intervene on behalf of another, often to mediate or resolve a conflict. Intercede.
To weaken, damage, or reduce the effectiveness or quality of something.
Impair. To seek favor or approval by deliberate effort, often through flattery or sycophantic behavior. Ingratiate.
To leave a lasting mark, impression, or influence on something or someone. Imprint.
To change the form or tone of something, particularly in speech or language.
Inflect.
To compensate for harm, loss, or damage, or to provide security against future harm. Indemnify.
After the accident, the company promised to indemnify the victims for their losses. Meanwhile, Jack tried to imbibe wisdom from his grandfather's stories, hoping to avoid future mistakes. His grandfather also sought to inculcate strong moral values in him through patient repetition. Jack's colleague, however, attempted to ingratiate himself with the boss, using flattery shamelessly. Unfortunately, his excessive efforts to please only seemed to impair his reputation among their co-workers.
The heated argument began to escalate when Sarah tried to instigate further tension by pointing fingers. Seeing the chaos, John stepped in to intercede, calming both sides before it worsened. His composed tone seemed to inflect the conversation with reason, cooling tempers. However, the memory of the quarrel would forever imprint itself on their minds. Sarah later admitted that her actions were driven by insecurities that had long inhibited her ability to maintain healthy relationships.
Lila worked tirelessly to inculcate good study habits in her students, repeating lessons with unwavering patience. One student, however, would often imbibe stories instead of studying, preferring imagination over facts. To ingratiate herself with the principal, Lila volunteered for extra duties, hoping to gain recognition. When budget cuts threatened to impair the school's resources, the board decided to indemnify teachers with added compensation, ensuring morale remained strong despite the challenges.
When the team's disagreement threatened their project, Lisa tried to intercede and mediate the conflict. However, an aggressive comment from Tom seemed to instigate more hostility. Lisa's calming voice inflected the conversation with empathy, gradually soothing tensions. She also worked to inhibit impulsive reactions by redirecting their focus toward solutions. Her efforts left a lasting imprint on the team, teaching them the value of collaboration and respectful communication in overcoming challenges.